Yo, guys, really quick, we wanted to go over a poll, and it was to see if you were interested in us doing a stream, and 83% of you guys said, yeah, you'd be interested. So we were thinking about doing it next Friday, which is February 11th. We haven't figured out a time yet. Next week's video, we'll probably be able to give you a little more information. But we are on the west coast of the United States, so PST. Hopefully, we won't do it too late, just considering if there's people on the East Coast or if there's people in Europe, etc. We'll try to figure out a decent time to do it.
Yeah, it'll probably be like 6:30 Pacific Standard Time.
It's a Friday night, so you can stay up a little past your bedtime if you really want to.
Or if you're in Europe, I guess that's in the middle of the night, I think.
So it'll be a cool opportunity for you guys to hang out, talk with us, play with us. We'll probably do some custom games, ARAMs, Earth, if I can get Tyler to play a game of Earth. Whatever. We'll just try to have some fun, and we can just chill.
Yep.
Anyways, guys, enjoy the episode. Dude, there's no skill in Trinity. Come on.
But you know what I'm saying, though.
Dude, what I'm saying is he has Flash Ghost. He's just gonna flash, spin on you, teabag your asshole, hit Ghost. Oh, God. Hit Ghost, and then just run you down. Sure. Hey, everybody. It is time for patch 12.3. And, dude, it's already February.
I know. It's 12.3. I'm like, oh, Jesus. I feel like we just started season 12, and 12.3 sounds like saying fucking October 2022 or something. I don't know.
We keep going back, though, because 12.1 was so underwhelming, and I think that's an issue.
Yeah.
But we're flying, dude. LCS is about to start. All the other regions have started. Yeah, it's
Night, Uprise, and Unleash, or whatever he said.
That promo was sick.
That promo was sick. I don't know about the 3 words. I think it was Ignite, Uprise, and Unleash.
You know what? Yeah, you're right. I think on Hotline they were talking about that. They're like, I don't know what that means, but okay.
I don't know what that means at all. But the promo video was sick, and like LCS is like 5 years behind. LEC's been doing this for literal years. So we got some catching up to do, and I think that this was kind of a stab to try to get more audience viewership, because I think they look at LEC and realize, like, dude, they're killing it in viewership. Like, what are we not doing? And a hype video is definitely a good way to get it going. So props to you, LCS crew. That was an awesome freaking video.
And of course, before we get into the episode, we're going to go over our Q&A from last week, which was, what are your thoughts on the Win Bros? Because we had our whole episode, and majority of it me bitching about that stupid champion Yone. So Nathan wrote in and said, I think they're fine. Yasuo is better than Yone. I slightly disagree, but Windwall is a broken ability. I agree because of Windwall. But besides that, they just kind of exist for me. I wish I had your mentality, man. I wish they just existed, because I hate these champions. He also says he's a Vex main, so whenever I see them, it's free win. True. I mean, I guess
Vex, I need to learn to play this champion, because I want to know what he's talking about. Like, what level is this dude on? And Nathan, I don't know who you are. I don't know where you are, but you have a particular set of skills, and I want to know what they are.
I mean, it's free with her, because she marks them every time they dash, and then they get feared by an ability. So it's like perma. You have the ability to, as long as you hit skill shots and wind walls down. Plus, you know what? Because I'm trying to remember how she works. Because obviously, if you hit ability on them, they get feared. If you auto attack them with the mark, it does bonus damage, and her auto attacks go through the wind wall. I think like Senna is like that too. Isn't it Senna can do that? Like her abilities.
I have no idea. I've never actually seen that matchup, because anytime I see Yasuo, I'm not playing this champion.
Yeah, it's one of those weird interactions where their basic attack, because she kind of like, she doesn't shoot a projectile, she kind of attaches to them and then yanks off.
That's true.
So you know how Senna auto attacks is kind of like so it's like that.
Doesn't Annie's Q fly over the wind wall too?
Maybe.
I think Annie's Q or her auto attack, one of them flies over the wind wall. Like it's allowed to connect. I don't know why, but it's allowed to connect. So I want. Okay. I'll have to try that one time. The Vex into the Yasuo. If it's like I wonder if that's like a Yasuo bot, and you can get away with like a Vex support. I know people try to force her in that support role, and she's okay in it, but she's not that great.
She's way better as full AP.
Way better as a mid lane mage, but I wonder if that would be a way to counter that lane. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and again, before we get into patch notes, we got dropped with a champion reveal, and Riot just already fucking pumping them out.
Dude, I think I texted you when the teaser came out last week. I was like, already? Like, we just got Ziri. We literally just got Ziri, and no one knows how to play that champion. And now we have Renata Glask.
The Chem Baroness. So I did read into that this champion was supposed to come out a while ago, and of course got delayed. I mean, I said this to you earlier too. If this character is not an antagonist in season 2 of Arcane, I don't know what the fuck is gonna happen, because she's literally just like a Chem Baron, right?
She's got the shimmer.
I almost thought it was gonna be like Savika.
Dude, okay, that's what I thought. That's exactly what I thought. I'm like, oh, they're gonna give us Savika, but they gave us someone who is arguably cooler.
Yeah, so just looking at her, I'm bringing up the splash art right now. It looks fucking badass, dude.
She is. And actually, her Admiral skin, that's definitely M. Bison, the milkman from fucking Street Fighter. Badass.
She does look good in that, too.
She's 100% Bison.
So, for those who don't know, she is a support. I'm not sure. I'm assuming she's going to be a mage support, or like, she's an enchanter, so I'm assuming she's going to do...
Yeah, I would call her like a battle enchanter. She's not... A lot of enchanters are, I guess, defensive by nature, and she's definitely not. She is, but like she's definitely an offensive feel. At least the way I see it, she's got an offensive feel for sure.
What if they pull some fucking stupid shit where she's like an AD enchanter? Like she gains, like she can shield people, but they all scale off AD.
You know what? I bet you're right, because there's only like 2 champions that use the Spectral Sickle.
Well, like Senna or
Senna, and Pike doesn't even use it. Pike uses the other one.
I guess Senna well, she's not really an enchanter. No.
Sort of, but
she can heal.
I could see them making this champion an AD based champion, more or less, because well, we'll go into the abilities and we'll explain why.
Yeah, so we'll go over this. It won't take too long to go over this. Luckily the patch isn't too long either, but
yeah.
So passive, Renata's basic attacks mark enemies, such as, so this is kind of similar. I know you mentioned Leona, where her abilities Leona's abilities mark them with sunlight, right? But the difference is that her Renata's allies can proc the extra damage, which Leona, that doesn't happen with Leona, right? It's just Leona.
No, Leona's only Leona's allies can proc her passive.
I had no idea that
Lux is the only one that can pop her own. So Lux is the same as Leona, except Lux pops her own passive. Leona needs her ally to pop her passive, which is why she's played as a support instead of as an actual laner, because she could lane if she wanted to. I mean, you've seen it sometimes, but she can't make effective use of her passive. So the difference in Renata's passive is that Renata can consume her own using an ability. So that's the interesting part.
Yeah, so it also states her E will do extra damage. We'll get to that when we get to that. Q is Handshake. Renata fires a missile from her robotic arm and immobilizes the first enemy hit. She can then reactivate the ability to knock back the enemy in a direction of her choice, which instantly makes me think of Zac Q, where she can slam.
Oh, see, okay, there's that. I was thinking like reverse Swain.
Okay.
Reverse Swain passive, but yes, Zac Q also makes sense. You slam him into people.
Because in the video, it shows her like slamming someone into another champion.
Oh, okay. I'm just watching a little preview. It's just her pushing Caitlyn back. I haven't seen
it. You'll get to I think it shows like Tom Kench and Heimerdinger, and she like Qs Tom Kench and then moves him to the side.
Oh, nice.
Can reactivate to knock back the enemy in a direction of choice. Okay, so I mean, simple CC skill shot. Curious how long, and if it's a stun, a root, or what.
Yeah, I would assume if you can move somebody that it's a stun.
Yeah.
And not just a root. But who knows?
So moving down to W, Bailout, which is probably the most bullshit shit. First of all, okay. The new 3-hit passive is Revive on a W. Bailout. God. This is so fucking stacked.
We have a
Increase,
lot to talk about with this skill. Just throwing that out there.
yeah.
Once Dean gets through the description, we have a lot to talk about.
Increase the movement and attack speed of Renata and an allied champion. So there you go. It's a Xayah W, which you don't have to have a Rakan with you. It's literally same thing.
Yep.
Much better. If the allied champion dies, they will be revived for a few seconds. If the allied champion gets a takedown during that time frame, they are fully fucking revived. How
Are they okay? Okay, hold on. So I'm reading on the League of Legends page, and it doesn't have it explained like that. Are you reading from that, or are you reading from like Surrender at 20?
I'm on Reddit where someone posted this.
Oh, okay. So let me read the description from the League page because it may be a little bit different. I'm not sure if someone's been able to get into PvE and see what it actually says.
Oh, let me go to skin spotlights. They usually do.
Yeah. So on the League page, the Renata abilities rundown for Bailout, it says Renata Glask grants an allied champion or herself ramping attack speed and move speed towards enemies. If the ally gets a takedown on an enemy champion, the buff duration resets. If the ally would die while Bailout is still active, their health is set back to full, but they begin burning to death over 3 seconds. Think Scion zombie mode, except shorter. The ally can stop the burn by getting a champion takedown before they die. So the way I read that is if they get that takedown, you're revived. Whatever health you had is the health you have now, but you are revived. You do not die. You do not go to jail. You do collect $200.
It's literally Chem. That's what I said earlier. It's Chemtech, Soul, and Zillion Alt. Like,
oh yeah, I said Chemtech, Soul, and Death Dance. But yes, I see the Zillion Alt too.
I mean, I
Now, okay. So now any champion, if you play with Renata, do you build Death Dance? You double up on the double up or what?
Oh, I don't know. We need to figure out
If it's magic damage, true damage.
Well, if it
physical
fully
damage.
heals you, there's no point to take that because you'll be at full health.
Well, so this doesn't say.
Yeah, we're getting double.
Yeah, getting crossed because it's not clear. It's not been released into the game yet. But this doesn't say it fully. So
You
the
know
way
what?
I read this is if you die, you come back with full health, right? But that health is draining over 3 seconds.
It's like
you have to get that takedown in 3 seconds, which is actually a pretty short amount of time. That's a Morgana Q, by the way. You have to get that takedown in 3 seconds, and I don't think it heals you. I think it just stops burning, and you have whatever health you have left. So if you have 100 health by the end of by the time you get that takedown, you have 100 health now.
Y'all have to go on. Can she? Let's see.
I don't know if she's on PvE yet or not, but that would also
okay,
bring a lot of clarity because the in-game skill descriptions are always different than the skill descriptions that they have as just like their regular.
So I think what I'm reading might be a little like because they said this person it said leaked ability descriptions, and I mean this comment got 2,000 upvotes. But I think when they say fully revived, I think that means like they're not full health revived, but they're just fully revived, as in they get revived.
Okay. Possibly, okay.
Okay, so still like Chemtech Soul, and then some sort of like I don't know.
This should be her ultimate, not her W.
Why is this? It's the new
Or
thing.
this better be on like a 1 minute.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's gotta have a fat fucking cooldown.
And not to be shortened by ability haste. Because that's stupid.
This is like a game changing fucking ability, dude.
Just like Uction. Just like fucking Uction's W. Why does Riot like to overload W's with revives all the sudden?
It's the new thing, dude.
It is. It is.
So moving down to her E, loyalty program, Renata fires several missiles that shield allies, dealing damage and slow enemies. The missiles can be used as an AoE around her or charged into a missile with an explosion at max range with the same effect. So
I feel like this reminds, like when I look at the video of how they use it, it reminds me of a Nami W.
Yeah, because it kind of the rockets like go around the target, your ally, and then go to the. Or like think of like I guess like a Yumi Q that can shield, but I don't know, it just kind of goes to max range or whatever.
Yeah.
Why do we need to get shit that shields you and does damage? Like,
hopefully the damage is negligible. Either the damage is negligible or the shield is negligible, one or the other. Because sometimes some champions who shield are like, I guess a good example is Kale's heal. Like the heal isn't really worth a damn, but the movement speed is worth a damn. You know, that quick 1 second burst of like 50 movement speed is worth a damn. But the heal's like 80 health. Like it's nothing.
So finally, her ultimate is Hostile Takeover. Renata sends a cloud of chemicals that induce enemies in a frenzy. All enemies will have their attack speed increased, but will be forced to attack everything around them. Champions allied to the ones hit are prioritized. So, which I also read is, so if you hit like the entire enemy team, they will prioritize hitting each other first, and then I believe like minions, neutral monsters.
Yep.
And then finally allies, and then Renata herself.
Yeah. It says prioritize attacking their own allies, neutrals, then Renata's team, and then Renata. Like that's like a way to get you out of trouble if you're that's such a troll ability though. Like
that's insane,
it's kind of like Bard ulti. Like you know how you control your own team with the Bard ulti? It's like, oh hey, I'm not trying to die, so I'm gonna use this ulti and they'll hit you instead of me.
Dude, they really don't want you to fucking give up on this game. And so hear me out. Imagine you're just getting shit on. The enemy team has like a 20-0 Yi, Master Yi. You hit that motherfucker with this ult, he's gonna one-shot his own fucking team.
This is true.
Think about that.
Think about this. You play a game, you have this champion and Akshan on your team.
How does that work?
Get fucked, kid. That's how that works.
Dude, is it not really weird that they just removed Chemtech Soul and this champion has so many similarities to that fucking thing?
Okay, you know what's weird to me is
Riot likes farts?
Yes. They said this champion was delayed, right? So I don't know when this champion was going to come out, but if it's delayed, I'm thinking likely before Chemtech Soul was announced.
I mean, they've been
like did they just go, well, fuck it, we can't release this champion because of X, Y, and Z issues, so we're gonna put on this dragon, and now we're gonna get rid of the dragon and give it back to the champion? Like, is that what happened? Is that what just happened?
I feel like they have to be working on this shit for a very long time.
Yeah, they're also working on sniffing each other's farts.
Well, her fucking R is a fart cloud now. They took
a giant pink fart cloud.
They took it off the map, shoved it up her ass, and now she's gonna fucking...
It's a cloud that makes your enemies so angry they start attacking each other.
That's a queefy quarter pounder, man.
Title?
Yeah, what? Renata the queefy quarter pounder?
Oh shit.
So yeah, this champion seems very interesting. I'm gonna go fuck around with her on PvE if she's up.
Oh, I can't wait to get fucked as a support player.
What was the last
being able to play for 2 months?
Who was the last I think we were talking about this earlier. What was the last enchanter support?
I don't think there's been one in so long. I
think I said like Ivern?
Yeah, but Vern's even a jungler. He's just like the last enchanter. He's not really the enchanter support.
Seraphine? I guess Seraphine.
Oh, well.
No one cares about that champion.
She wasn't really supposed to be an enchanter either. She's supposed to be a mage. Kind of like Lux. She's supposed to be very... I mean, the way I see her kit is Lux-ish, a little bit more supporty than Lux, but like... Yeah, I don't know. That's a good fucking question, dude.
Should be hype. I wonder if this means they're going to be pumping out a lot of champions this year. It's literally been a month, and they already have 2 out, or about to have 2 out. So
can I have 2 more bans, please, or 3 more bans, or something?
Yeah, that needs to get addressed.
There's like way too many fucking champions that are way too fucking strong, and not enough fucking bans. I don't think 20 bans is the answer though. I don't think 10 per team, but like give me 5 bans a team, right? And then give me like 2 more, but we as a team have to vote on them or something. I don't know. Something. I'm just trying to think. But anyways, we'll move on from that. We'll get actually into the patch here because I'm sure as more information comes out on Renata, that'll end up being our episode next week. I almost guarantee it. So we'll save that for later. For now, let's hit patch 12.3, guys.
Got a couple nerfs.
We had a lot of nerfs.
A lot of item adjustments.
Yes. Was it 7?
12. Fighter, it says fighter item system 11 items, and then they're also changing Chem tank. So that's 12.
Okay.
2 buffs, 7 nerfs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep.
Yep. And most of them are for pro play. Would you look at that? And except for Ziri, who's all around.
Wait, I'm stupid. 8 nerfs. Okay. Anyways,
I can't count either.
and then 3 champion adjustments. So we can let's get in here.
Get it into starting off with Ahri. I don't know what champion refreshed means, but
Changing her up a little bit here.
Yeah, they are giving her a little bit of something. And she's getting an ASU update as well. But it says here, Ahri's unique identity as a highly mobile mage assassin has eroded over the years. Instead of being a flighty terror dashing across a team fight, she's limited to a single attempt at an exciting play with her R, and then finishing with her E from safety for the rest of the fight. To address this, we're refreshing her passive to offer a partial ultimate reset upon takedowns, so a well-played Ahri can capitalize on favorable situations to hunt down the entire enemy team. We've also redistributed her abilities as mana costs and early damage, so each spell feels rewarding. To balance things out, we're slightly nerfing her burst damage and defensive stats. And I gotta say, I do like this change because if you ever played Ahri, once you get to like late game, like level 16, you're no longer a mage, you're an assassin. And it's a really weird play style where you play all game as a mage and then all of a sudden you're an assassin. Like, I always thought it felt weird, I should say.
I don't think I've played enough Ahri to actually feel like what it's like to get to late game, to be honest. But
you're missing out. She's pretty fun. I mean, that's a basic champion that you can play mid lane and like not really do terrible at, but
so let's see. So base stats, everything across the board looks like it's getting dropped. Health growth is getting dropped by 10. Health from levels 1 to 18 is getting dropped by 100. Yeah, so it starts at 26 at level 1, and then it's going all the way down to 100. And
I just say that's fucking tiny. A 500 health pool is tiny.
Yeah,
that's like, I think Lulu's on par with that. Lulu has one of the smallest starting health pools in the game.
Base health is going down, but that is getting made up for in her passive in a second, and then armor is going down. She's pretty squishy. This is very squishy, level 1.
Which is good.
So her passive, killing minions or monsters, grants Ahri an essence fragment. After obtaining 9 essence fragments, Ahri consumes them to heal for 40 to 120 plus 25% AP. When Ahri scores a takedown, I almost said touchdown. Fuck the Niners.
Fuck it.
When Ahri scores a takedown against an enemy, a champion within 3 seconds of damaging them, she feasts upon their essence, healing for 80 to 200 plus 35% AP.
Why is this the exact same passive in Ruin King? And I like it.
That's probably why they got inspired by it.
That's what I'm thinking. Is they said this works. What if we made this work in competitive?
Her live passive, she has to hit enemies with abilities, right?
I don't know if she has to hit them or she just has to cast so many abilities.
Or does she heal when when it's fully stacked?
Yeah, she heals when she uses it when it's fully stacked. Yeah.
Does she have to hit enemies then?
Yes, it can be minions or it can be champions.
Right.
But you want to hit it with it currently. You want to hit as many enemies as possible to get the most health possible. If that makes sense.
So they're going from they're making her squishier, but they're giving her a lot more lane sustain for HP wise. Which
I like it though, because her current passive, the way it is, you can only heal when you use your Q. And now this looks like you don't have to do that.
No, you just auto attack. You can just auto attack minions.
Which makes more sense, because like you could kind of get fucked not having mana. You're like, I can't even auto attack anything to get health back. I'm stuck with this green orb that I can't use.
Right.
So I like this change a little bit. I think it makes a champion more playable for sure.
I was seeing people talk about this, but like if you're going against an AD assassin laning phase, you're gonna get fucked pretty hard. Like, you're so squishy, dude. Armor at level 1 is gonna be 18.
You get yourself a fucking Seeker's Guard.
No one builds that.
I know. I don't know why no one builds a Seeker's Arm guard
If they-
against fucking AD mid laners. Like, that's the oldest fucking trick in the book. That's season 4. Come on, guys.
So moving down to her Q, base damage is staying the same. The only thing that's getting changed is a 10% buff, or 5%, excuse me, astronomical 5% buff to the AP scaling on her Q, which
And then mana cost
is going up.
It's lower earlier, but
15
more
late.
later. Yeah,
that's big. I mean, it's trying to get her through just laning phase. They're giving her extra tools just to help sustain, I guess. I mean,
I guess if you're gonna decrease how much punishment a champion can take, you should increase the amount of punishment a champion can dish out. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like that seems that's adjustment. That's not a nerf or a buff.
Yeah.
That's just an adjustment.
All right, what do we got for the W?
Foxfire. So the AP ratio scaling stays the same at 30%, but the base damage is going up. Looks like 20 at all ranks.
That's pretty good.
And the mana cost is dropping from 40 to 25.
Also good.
The thing you're going to see here is her flame duration. So you used to stay around you for 5 seconds. They now only stay around you for 2.5 seconds. So they're telling you, like, you need to burst with this skill. But she's also getting a half second of the movement speed buff as well. So normally you hit the W, you get a slight movement speed. That's kind of how you chase people down a little bit. It was only a second and a half. You get it for 2 seconds. And they did update the way the W works, which thank God they needed to do this. But it says updated missile targeting and last hitting logic, which, I mean, why they didn't go for last hits in the first place when you use them around minions, I'll never understand.
So this thing is just gonna, if there's low target minions, it's gonna
prioritize.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, over full health minions. I think it prioritizes champions when available, but now I believe it's going to prioritize lower health minions.
All right. Charm. Let's see. Damage is going up across the board.
Yeah, it is.
Again, another 20 base damage and a 20% increase in AP.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
That's big. Mana cost, yeah, the mana cost dropping by 20, but her other abilities will not be enhanced.
Yeah, that was
extra damage when they're charmed. So that's getting dropped. So they're increasing the base damage AP ratio. Mana cost is going down, but it no longer her Q, W, whatever R won't do extra damage if you're charmed. That's a fair trade, I guess.
Yeah, I didn't see that last the bonus damage or whatever taken away from that. So at first I was like,
that would have been insane.
But then it's like, oh, they take away the bonus damage. Like, okay, no, it makes sense.
All right, Spirit Rush.
Spirit Rush. So the initial duration used to be 10 seconds. It's now 15 seconds. Like, you have a lot of time to use all 3
just
charges.
Sit on it, yeah.
Yeah, which I like, because sometimes, like, you would hit it and then not get what you wanted, and then you're like, great, I have 2 charges and a few seconds left to use them. Like, what am I going to use them on? Clearing the wave, I guess. And then it says a new passive, consuming a champion's essence with essence theft while Spirit Rush is active. Essence theft is her passive, by the way. Consuming a champion's essence with essence theft while Spirit Rush is active extends Spirit Rush's recast duration by and up to 10 seconds and grants an additional cast of Spirit Rush up to 3 casts stored. So
that's pretty big. Let
me break this down real fast. You can get up to 6 casts on the Spirit Rush. So you use your first one and you take down a champion, you get it refunded basically, and you get an extra 10 seconds to use your rest, but you can only store up to 3. So it looks like you can, I guess you could reset that 5 times, I guess 5 times.
Per champion, right?
Yeah.
So essentially you literally could just keep zooming around as long as you're getting assists or kills.
Assists, kills, or consuming that essence theft.
Well, it says consuming a champion's essence, so it has to be.
Yes. Okay.
It's not like the minion ones. You have to kill or
I have to go back up and reread the essence theft fast.
But still, so that's pretty big.
You don't have to get a kill, but a takedown count. So assists count.
That's pretty big.
That is pretty big because it should be able to zoom around the map. I mean, that makes her more of a team fighter.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's
A little bit less of an assassin.
I feel like Ahri is not really a very good team fighter.
No.
But I feel like all of these changes, obviously it's gonna help her laning phase, but I feel like she's a little bit more utility based now. And she's gonna be able to she's not gonna be able to like 100-0 you, but I mean she's gonna be able to reposition herself several times. Hit those charms. You know, she's the movement speed is buffed on her, or like the duration is buffed on her W.
Yep.
I think it's good. It's hopefully I like seeing I can't remember the last time I saw an Ahri in pro, but I feel like it's fun to watch that shit because
it's been probably since like season 7. She hasn't really been relevant for a hot minute. But you're right, she's hella fun to watch pros play because there's so many different ways you can play this champion. Like she's very versatile, and that's one of the reasons I like her as a champion. And like you said, the pros they're fucking good at this game, dude. They know what they're doing, so I like the idea.
This is cool. I think overall this is a really positive. I'd just be scared that her lane sustain might just be too insane. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe I might try to play her or something to see how it goes.
We'll be pissed off about it in 2 weeks. Don't worry.
Sure. Yep. So then, on top of that, she's getting some VFX and SFX updates for her passive, her W, and then the ultimate. So,
and a new ammo bar to indicate Spirit Rush cast. I like that. I
wonder if that's gonna pop up on the resource bar so enemies can see. But
yeah, so I think so because it's an ammo bar, and I think the ammo bar shows
underneath.
Yeah, underneath health. Yeah, Annie's got one now. Jin's always had one.
Yeah, really.
Graves has one. Yeah, really. Yeah, so it should be right there. That's cool.
Alrighty.
Pretty soon, everyone's HUD's gonna be fucked with too much shit on it.
Everyone's gonna be fucked when every fucking new champion's gonna have a fucking revive.
A revive, a reset,
and a fart cloud ability.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Uxin getting a nerf this week. Passive damage decrease, nothing too crazy. So the movement speed for canceling his second shot, he's going to lose 15 movement speed earlier as it scales up to level 18. So that will come back. It is 75 at level 18, so that's not going to change. And then his 3-stack bonus magic damage, he's going to lose 10 on. Looks like 10 damage, and that's going to scale through level 18. So it was 20 to 175 at levels 1 through 18. Is now 10 to 165. So no major massive difference, but they're just trying to kind of bring him down a little bit because he's pretty gross into a melee matchup. He's pretty easy to play into a melee.
All right.
I don't think I have anything else there.
No, it's pretty straightforward. So
cool.
All right, Amumu.
The mummy, let's go.
Base armor decrease, passive damage reduction now capped per instance. Did he really need a nerf? Is Amumu broken?
No.
So base armor is dropping by 0.5 from 3.5 to 3. And then that's armor gross, excuse me. And then armor is going from staying 30 at level 1, and then it's going to be dropped by 8.5 by level 18. I don't see too many Amumus.
I know, this is average play here, and I'm like, I am literally the definition of average play.
So see, and then
I haven't seen a Mumu in weeks.
And then the Tantrum passive is going from up to 100% per instance of physical damage to capped at 50% per instance of physical damage. So it's getting halved.
That sucks.
That really sounds like a lot.
That hurts. I mean, I will say his damage reduction is not even that much, so I don't know why they're cutting it in half. Like maybe 75%, but half seems pretty high. I don't like it.
I'd be very curious what his pick rate is right now. I mean, I could look, but I'm just kind of lazy. And
fair, I'll look while you. I'll look while you move on to Brand. I'll find his fucking thing.
Quality of life changes on passive and R. So passive update, mana refund upon killing an enemy now also occurs if Brand's ability last hits a target that was not already ablaze. Okay, so I guess that's nice.
I've got a quick update.
Okay,
so in Platinum Plus, and I know they said this for average, in Platinum Plus, he's got a 3.5% win rate. We want to talk average. Let's go to bronze. It's got a 7.2% win rate or pick rate in bronze with a 55% win rate. And you go to gold, he's 5.8%. No one's picking this champion. Like his win rate is 53.5%, which is really good, but no one's playing this fucking champion. What are we doing here?
It feels like maybe a writer just got shit on by a Mumu and was like, "Oh, I need to
Someone's
nerf
butthurt
him.
about it.
I
Yeah.
need to nerf this motherfucker."
Anyways, we can go back to Brand.
So passive update mana refund upon killing an enemy now also occurs if Brand's ability last hits a target that was not already ablaze. So,
ooh,
because I believe now it says it has to be burning by the
Yep.
passive, but this is, if you just decide to queue a minion or something, and boom.
Yeah.
And then our Pyroclasm. Pyroclasm's Fireball now prioritizes bouncing to nearby enemies before bouncing back to Brand at full range. Pyroclasm will still prioritize bouncing to enemy champions first before minions or monsters, regardless of range.
You know, I like this passive update because I feel like it sort of puts him back as a solo laner a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Because as a support, you're not really focused on killing minions or anything like that. It kind of reminds me of Annie's Q, right? Annie's Q is is it a full mana or a half mana refund when you kill?
I think it's full mana.
Yeah, I don't remember what it is anymore, but yeah, when you kill a minion or the mana refund, and that seems like kind of that's what this is doing too. So I like that. That should put him a little bit more in the mid lane. He's been excelling pretty well, I feel like, in the support role. So they didn't state that here. They called it a quality of life change, but I think they're trying to kind of slightly push him back to where he belongs.
Yeah, I don't like seeing Brand supports. I don't like seeing full AP supports.
That's your favorite.
Sucks ass.
I prefer Zyra.
All right, what we got with Caitlyn?
AD growth decreased, Q damage reduced. Everyone say goodbye to your waifu. She's I don't know if she's done in the season, but
everyone still got Jinx. Jinx dodged nerfs.
Jinx is still there. Yeah, Jinx did dodge nerfs, and she's pretty fucking strong. So get off your Caitlyn hype and get onto the Jinx hype and get it going. So the reason they did this is because she's getting banned in pro play, and because no one wants to play her because she's dumbass strong. So they think that if they can nerf her, maybe people will play her in pro, which is the dumbest fucking reasoning I've ever heard in my life. But whatever, Riot. This champion was strong in regular play too, so it's not like that's gone unnoticed. Her AD growth is going down by 0.4 per level. So from 3.8 to 3.4. Ooh. Which means her attack damage levels 1 through 18 scales from 62. It used to be 62 to 126.6. It's now 62 to 119.8. Again, that is less than a longsword difference. So
it's not much.
What are we doing here, Riot? They're honestly, I know everyone's overreacting, saying Caitlyn got nerfed hella hard. She really didn't. Even her Q, the Piltover Peacemaker, damage against secondary enemies used to be 60%. It is now 50%. So it's just a 10% drop off. But I don't think that's gonna hurt her that much.
No, I mean, she's still a lane bully. She's still really good. She's still relatively safe as you can be without, like, hyper mobility, I guess.
Yeah.
Just
because of her range.
Right. I've even seen people going back to just taking fleet footwork instead of lethal. I mean, fleet's just going to keep you more safe, more sustained,
And it also gives you, I think the thing that a lot of people forget about fleet footwork too, like, the movement speed, you could actually proc that on a minion and then chase somebody down. Like it is actually rather strong if used aggressively. It's just also not as easily used aggressively because you have to stop and make that auto attack.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I haven't done the math to see if you can make up the amount of units, if it's better to do it or better not to. I'm not sure, but I'm sure Freak's done the math somewhere. So go find Freak's video on the math on that part.
Alrighty. And then let's go down.
We got Corky.
Finally, this champion has been needing nerfs, and
this champion's been OP.
I've seen a lot of people talking about they need to nerf his R damage, which I think is fair. But this is primarily a nerf for pro play, just because obviously because it says it. But I mean, it just makes sense because his first package on live is at 8 minutes. that's when the Rift Herald spawns.
Yep.
And it would package would come up every 4 minutes after that. So it's like every time, like same thing with like a dragon, you can kind of time it pretty well, and it felt like every time a dragon was up. Again, this is pro play. This is not us. These are people that do fucking play this game professionally, so they know exactly what to do. There'd be a package ready for every fucking team fight during objectives, and that sucks.
You know, I might argue that this is possibly better for dragon team fights because it went from a restock every 4 minutes to every 5 minutes, and dragon spawn every 5 minutes. So if you use it on the first one, you know you have a package for each. If you're doing dragons at 5 minutes, exactly that is. I should say
you won't have a package at 5 minutes. It starts.
no,
at 10.
but you have one at 10, and there's not a whole lot of teams that go for dragon before 10 in lower elo. Maybe in pro play, but I don't even know if that's true. Do they go for first dragon at 10 minutes or before 10 minutes?
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I would have to look that up, see what that stat is. But I feel like maybe they do. I don't know. But I feel like it's kind of close. It's a little bit closer to that fight. But I think the Herald point that you made is really, I think that's really where that power gets taken away from, is that Herald fight. So yeah, no, you're right though. It is pro play.
It's a start. So we'll see if they drop the damage on his ulti.
The package is actually fucking insane. Like, I don't know how else to put it. It's fucking insane for passive. So
moving down to LeBlanc.
The booty hole.
Simply put, they are nerfing the damage of her W late game. It's still the same at level 1, which is 75 damage, and it's going to go up to. It's going to drop by 20. Nothing really to talk about here. I don't like LeBlanc. She can just one-shot me out of nowhere. And
play LeBlanc. We haven't played LeBlanc in a minute, but
on ARAM.
It's okay.
I'll take it though.
I suck at this champion, so
keep going.
Yeah, that's pretty straightforward. We'll go down to Lilia. Our sleep duration increased early. I feel like this is necessary. It's a half-second increase at level 1, a quarter-second increase at level 2, and it's still 2.5 seconds at level 3. And I haven't seen a whole lot of people playing this champion. I know she's a little bit more of a scaling style. She's not really an early game champion. She's more of a mid to late game. But no one's playing that right now. So I think this is a welcome buff, honestly.
Yeah, go out there and hit those 9-man sleeps.
Start bowling, hit the 9-man sleep, end up like TSM at Worlds.
Yikes.
I mean, don't end up like TSM at Worlds.
Yikes. All right, Nami. Let's move on down. Passive initial bonus move speed increased and now decays over duration. E on hit, base damage reduced. So we're getting another adjustment.
Yeah, she needs this.
Passive bonus move speed is changing from... Okay, so it's base 45 to 90, and so instead of for the full duration of 1.5 seconds, it decays over 1.5 seconds. Okay. That's a lot. That's doubled. That's doubled.
Well, it actually probably comes out to be the same at the end of the day. It probably comes out to be the same because it decays, and it's decaying over 1.5 seconds, which is extremely quick.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the decay, how the decay works, if it works on a tick system or whatever, but I would go so far to say it's probably the same, maybe a slight buff because you get that very quick burst, but it falls off so quickly. Although do bear in mind that when you use your ulti on somebody, I believe it's doubled over allies.
That's
that's very fat. I mean, you're zooming like a motherfucker, especially if you're playing Jhin. You just hit a force shot, and then you chase someone down, Gale Force, Q, and then your bullets are back up. Like, that's a thing.
And then moving down to our E, Tidecaller's Blessing, just getting a base damage drop of 5 at all ranks.
That's necessary. This champion is overtaking support right now. Like,
it has been
since far and large,
since Worlds.
Yep.
And like the whole Electrocute works on her.
Yep. So. Yep. She's fucking dumbass strong, and I think she hasn't had her time in the light in a long time. And I think Riot's not ready to release that. So I like this tiny little nerf to see what they can get away with to balance her out a little bit. I think it's a good idea.
Right. Let's move on down to Quinn. And her W passive attack speed is getting buffed slightly early.
Damn it.
Yeah, I think it's. I mean, every time you hit the what is it? The mark, whatever Valor marks a target.
Yeah.
And you get that triple auto attack or whatever, it gives you the bonus attack speed for whatever 3 seconds. So I mean, buffing it early. That I mean, you're gonna max this late or last. Excuse me, you're gonna max it third. So it's welcomed, I guess. Extra 8%.
I fucking hate Quinn, dude.
Yeah, Quinn's a kind of
Quinn.
Quinn is like the definition of a cheese champion. I feel like it's
absolutely
top lane, just marksman that's just gonna zoom around the map and bully you, shit on you, and then
she kind of reminds me of Tryndamere in her playstyle. Like she's gonna
a ranged Tryndamere.
Yeah, exactly. She's gonna come fuck your shit up, and she's gonna leave your lane and go farm the jungle. And then just when you think she's gone, she's gonna come fuck your shit up again. And there's not a whole lot you can do about it. And she's definitely a better split pusher than she is a team fighter. And also explain to me why they're giving her a 30% AD boost on her ultimate, because that doesn't fucking make any sense to me.
I guess that's fine because that's not her main's like damage ability.
Like why does she need extra damage? She just come down and go, ha! Press E, fucking annihilate you with Sky Strike. Press E, vault on your ass, blind your ass, and pop you. You haven't even had a chance to attack her yet, and you're already got no health.
That blind is really OP. I feel like blind like the CC of blind is very overpowered in this game. I think people overlook that.
Well, there's a difference because Teemo blind is not nearly as OP, I think, as Quinn and Graves blind. Because they actually
the nearsighted? Is it
blind? Yeah, the nearsight. That's what they call it.
Nocturne ult.
Yes.
Okay.
That shit I think is more OP. Teemo's blind is good. Don't get me wrong, because you can't hit anything. You can't hit an auto attack.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you. Well, you can. The thing with Teemo's blind is dumb is you can hit on hit skills, even though those like Ezreal's Q technically counts as an auto attack, but you can hit that. And I think Ziri can still. I don't know about Ziri. I would be curious to see the interaction, but. Like regular auto attacks you can't hit, but like Quinn, you can't even auto attack anything because you can't fucking see anything.
So, I think if you're playing top lane, this might be worth a ban.
Yeah, absolutely.
Never mind. Tryndamere and Yoni still exist, so fuck them.
I feel like she could play into Tryndamere though, because she can just say, "Get the fuck away from." Like, obviously, he wants to get on top of you, but it's just a skill matchup. I feel like.
Dude, there's no skill in Tryndamere. Come on.
But you know what I'm saying, though.
You know what I'm saying is he has flash ghost. He's just gonna flash, spin on you, teabag your asshole, hit ghost, hit ghost, and then just run you down. Sure, E or Quinn has the vault, her E or whatever. That's what like a 10-second cooldown.
Vault. She's got the fucking bird.
Yeah, but you have to. That's like a cast.
That's true. That's like true. It is a concentration.
Fucking stupid. All right,
Senna.
Oh god, this.
Here we go.
Feel bad.
Here we go. The passive soul drop rate for Senna's farm is reduced. So they are basically, this is a revert, I guess. I like that the passive absolution says quick maths. Minions and lesser monsters that Senna kills have it was 10% chance to spawn a Mist Wraith. It is now 2 in what the fuck is 2.777 repeating?
It's
percent chance to spawn a Mist Wraith. I don't even know. I was gonna say 2 2/3, but that's more than that. But I don't fucking know what that is. That's really bad. That's really fucking bad. But I like it because if you're gonna play her as an ADC, you should be punished a little bit because she is supposed to be a support. I don't know. I like it.
It just Riot has no idea what they want with this champion.
They don't. Okay, you know what's funny is after I saw the Renata release this morning, I was thinking, I'm like, dude, she kind of has like a little bit of an identity crisis, right? Is she a damage champion? Is she a support champion? We don't know. We haven't seen her ratios and her ability damage, right? And then I started to think, so what about Senna?
Yeah.
What is Senna? Because Senna was supposed to be a support. Like, she was released and Riot's like, no, this is a fucking support. And then people said, yeah, fuck you, Riot. I'm gonna make this champion a carry, and it worked very well. And Riot said, you know what? I like that idea. Let's lean into the carry idea. And then they very quickly said, oh, that was a mistake. Let's dial it back just a little bit. And she's been a viable carry for a long fucking time. But now they're finally saying, no, fuck you guys. She's a fucking support. Let her play support. Put her in the support role. So, she's kind of got an identity crisis. I like this champion. I think her aesthetic's cool. I think everything about her is actually pretty friggin' sick. And I like the idea that they're trying to say, no, this champion is a fucking support, you morons. I like it.
All right, let's move down to old Tobias.
Oh, twisted butthole.
And Q damage ratio increased. Base damage decreased late. E bonus attack speed decreased early. So another kind of adjustment.
Yeah.
So let's see. Q.
Pro play.
Yeah, pretty much pro play. So Q damage, base damage is going down by 20 late.
That's going to scale over. Yeah, it's going to scale over levels 1 through 5.
It might just level it out a little bit.
Yeah, just
extra 5% AP on scaling.
That makes sense though, because that's just saying you got to build the shit to be a damage champion. Because I think pros are not using him as. I mean, obviously they use him for damage, but like they're also using him for his ultimate and like ganking ability and ability to clear waves. You know what I mean? And so I think it makes sense if you say, hey, we're going to bring that down a little bit so you can't do that all the time. Like, play your fucking lane.
And then E bonus attack speed is dropping by half early. That's pretty big because, again, this is going to be the ability you level up last.
Yep.
So you're going to feel only 10% attack speed at level 1.
Does that mean you gotta really have to rush that RFC second item?
No, I don't think. Attack speed's not. I mean, attack speed is good generally on a lot of champions, but I don't think it's. No, you just get RFC is literally only for the range, nothing else.
That's all it is. But I mean, you get the attack speed for it. The charge damage is nice too because that kind of does pair up with the E real nicely. Especially if you have the excuse me, was it the third attack or whatever? Is it 3 or 4 attack or 5 attacks on E? I don't remember. Is it 4? Okay. Yeah, so you get that and you pair it with the RFC, you get a nice little burst of damage. But I do like here that they're saying like, hey, he might gold card you, early levels, but he's not going to be able to just rip you apart like he used to be able to. So that's kind of cool.
Let's move down to Ziri. Base movement speed reduced. Fully charged basic attack damage decreased. R chain lightning damage decreased and can now critically strike. So overall, it sounds like a nerf.
Yep.
Base move speed is dropped by 5. Her charged attack, the non-Q, is dropping by, let's see, full charge damage based on target's max health is dropping by 5% late based on level. No big deal. And then her R chain lightning is dropping by, let's see, 10, 5 in the middle and then 10 late. Okay, and then it's the same with the AP. Okay, it's not bad, but it can also crit now. I had no idea it couldn't crit. I figured it was like an auto attack kind of base thing.
Dude, I still don't really know what this champion does, so
yeah, who cares?
This is all French to me.
Renata's out.
So I'm more just in Renata. I mean, and I say this with like, I'm not even trying to downplay this champion. I just really don't know what this champion does. There hasn't been enough time. She's been out for a week and a half, really, maybe 2 weeks, I guess. I don't know. And I mean, she's played and she's either shitting on people or getting shit on, and I can't figure out what the weakness is that's causing her to get shit on, other than the other player's skill level. If that makes any sense.
She just moves too fast.
That's all it is. But like, I don't really. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that 5 base movement speed is gonna fucking do anything either.
No.
So that seems like they're like, yeah, hey guys, we're gonna nerf her, and then they take 5 fucking damage off of her ultimate lightning crash and say, hey, by the way, it can crit, yo. And you're like, okay, well, what the fuck? I thought you were nerfing her, not increasing damage. This champion builds crit, you fucking assholes. What are you doing?
All right, so that is pretty much it for champions. Hang in there, guys. I know it's actually turning into a longer episode than I thought it was going to be.
It's all right.
Gonna-
We'll get through these items pretty quick because it's all like a lot of it's mythic fighter items, and I can only guess that one change is going to be a continuous change to a lot of these items, like they always do when they do massive group item changes. It's like they change the cost of something or the damage of something, and then it's the same through every item. So,
all right, let's get through it then. Divine Sunderer build path is changing from a Sheen Phage Kindle Gem plus 700 gold to Sheen Caulfield's Warhammer Kindle Gem. So they want to make it a little bit smoother build path because that Phage is 750, right? Is Phage 750?
I think it's the same as a Caulfield's. Or no,
Caulfield's,
Caulfield's 1100.
yeah, but you can build 2 long swords.
You can build two. So
It's a little bit more damage. Okay, so because it's dropping 100 health.
yeah, I was gonna say what I see, and this is the big thing I think about, and I don't know if people know this about Phage, but Phage heals you if you hit a champion.
Yep.
So they're actually taking a little bit of sustain off of it. You're gonna get a little bit more damage, but you're gonna lose the sustain that you had. So I kind of like that.
Yeah, I mean, this is the theme with all the fighter items. They're changing the tank. They're going to make it more. They're going to be seeing a lot of HP being dropped off these items and the damage slightly going up.
Yeah, and are they just removing Phage? Because I see the same thing on Gore Drinker. They're taking Phage off.
I don't think they're getting rid of Phage as an item, which is
what
weird.
else does Phage? What else does it build into?
I don't know.
That's a fucking question, huh?
So yes, so Thunder is losing 100 health, but is gaining 5 AD. And then, of course, for the Ornn Masterwork item, it's getting adjusted the same way.
Okay.
Gore Drinker, again, dropping the Phage, getting the Caulfield, and losing 150 HP, but gaining 10 AD. I guess I kind of like that. I'll take that. Like, I mean, Gore Drinker, I feel like is a really overloaded item anyways. I'd love to see what the gold efficiency is on that thing.
Just a heads up on Phage. It also builds into Sterix Gauge and Hullbreaker. So
there you go.
You get more Caulfield's items, which not like
you got it.
Whatever, you know what I'm saying. I'm not even gonna sorry, I got distracted. I had an email come up and I got distracted and lost my thought. But whatever. Phage is only going into 2 items and Caulfield's way more versatile. It goes into a shit ton of items. That's what I was trying to say. So interesting. I almost is like wonder why keep Phage around though if it only builds into 2 items. I always find items like that very I guess boring is the best way I could put it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Moving down to Trinity Force, which is actually getting an HP buff, but the passive on the threefold strike, dealing damage to champions or structures, stacks 5 times. That is getting changed from 6% base AD per stack to 4% AD per stack. So you're going to lose 10% at max stacks.
Yep.
Kind of, I like that passive. It was like a mini fervor, but I guess that's a little bit too much. Because generally, champions that build Trinity Force are going to have high base ADs, I guess. Like, normally fighters. Like Gangplank, Darius. I'm trying to think of another champion.
That builds Trinity Force? Ziri builds Trinity Force.
Yeah, I guess that might be another thing, too, is she's been doing too much damage. That might be an influence, so why?
That probably is it. They're probably saying, well, shit, if she can build that item, then we need to. The thing is, a lot of champions that can build this item, like Jax, don't build this item. I don't know. Are there better items out there? I mean, is Divine Sunder that much better than Trinity Force?
I think the heal just.
The heal and the penetration probably better than the AD per stack. I don't know.
Trinity Force is just so well rounded.
The thing that I wish they would kind of bring it a little bit more back to how it used to be, because it's always been like it's supposed to be a round item, right? It doesn't give massive anything, but it gives you a lot of everything. And I feel like it's kind of lost its way in that sense. And I don't know if that has any influence on why people buy it or not, because it is a little bit less rounded, but I feel like Divine Sunder is more round of an item, more well-rounded of an item than Trinity Force, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
So I don't know. Trinity Force giving a health buff, I guess, is cool, but then decreasing the damage on champions and structures is weird. So are they trying to make this? I don't know what the fuck they're doing here. I don't understand this change or what
Kind of
this
the
is supposed to
opposite
do.
of what they did to Sunder and Gore Drinker.
I guess, yeah. I mean, they took the health off the other two, which is weird because I look at Sunder and I think, okay, that's a sustain item, and Gore Drinker gets a sustain item. Then I look at Trinity Force, and go, that should be a damage item. Tons of damage used to be the descriptor for it, right?
Yeah, it was.
So why are we adding health?
Who knows, man?
That's what I'm confused. Why are we adding health? Tons of damage should be fucking damage, not health. You know, give me the AP scaling back something. I don't know. I'm just postulating it. It just seems weird to me.
All
But
right.
we can move on to the legendary items and components.
Just
Um,
Dance.
Death Dance getting a cost increase. I think this is actually important. And I almost wonder, like I mentioned earlier, I almost wonder if this has anything to do with Renata.
Possibly.
Um, because actually, Death Dance I feel like is a little underrated
Well, it's
for
not
what it
they
is.
because originally when it came out, I think they're maybe the numbers are a little different, but when it first came out, it was well, first of all, when it first came out, it healed you, it gave you vamp, and then they got rid of that. And they changed it
Yes,
to the live one. And then now when they changed it, it was only to physical damage.
yes,
Now they're going back to both magic, not true damage, just magic and physical damage.
I like that. Okay, I haven't even got that far in the.
Sorry, yeah, go read it.
No,
You
no,
read
no,
it up.
you're good. You're good. I was gonna say that this was just postulating with the Renata thing because that they brought that heal back, but the heal before was vamp, and now it's like you have to finish the takedown and then you get the heal and the negation more or less. I wouldn't even call it a heal, really. It's just the negation of damage completely. So this is a long one, guys. So there is a melee and range difference here. Okay, it's currently on live. It stores 35% damage for melee and 15% for ranged of post mitigation physical damage. It is going to now change to a 30% for melee and 10% for ranged of all types of post mitigation damage received. That includes, or that entails all damage that you take after your armor and after your MR has been factored into that. Um, this does not include true damage, like Dean said, and it says so all types of post mitigation damage received, which is successively taken as true damage over 3 seconds instead. So it says, hey, look, we're going to factor all that math, and you're not going to take that damage immediately, but you're going to bleed that damage as true damage. So you can no longer mitigate that damage, which makes sense. You don't want to be able to double mitigate. That would be hella OP as fuck. And now also applies to damage on shields. I don't think it did that before,
No.
because I think shields are a form of mitigation or were considered a form of mitigation, but it sounds like they're coding this to ignore shields as a form of mitigation.
So I was seeing people talk about how insane this is going to be for Riven.
Fuck that champion, dude.
So I'm trying to understand. So it says now also applies to damage on shields.
Because she has a shield. So
So
I
it's
think
gonna
before
it's
she
gonna
wasn't
deplete the
getting the
shield,
full
right?
benefit because she could shield herself, but now I think she gets a full benefit, so she's gonna have more healing coming back.
Hmm.
So let me get to the defy passive. That was the ignore pain passive. Let me get to the heal part. You used to heal for 15% maximum health upon scoring a killer assist. Now it is 175% bonus AD. So you heal for 175% bonus AD if a champion dies within 3 seconds after you've dealt damage to them. Probably why
That's
it's gonna be really good for Riven.
fucking insane.
Any champion that just builds a shit ton of AD, like Riven or Aatrox, which is basically just Riven reskinned, or like Jax even, or even Set. Actually, I can see this being really good on Set. Champions that actually build AD are going to get a lot more for this, as opposed to just being a more or less like a bruiser. It's a bruiser item, but I feel like they're moving it more to a fighter, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Because bruisers carry more health than fighters. That's the kind of the distinction. So yeah, I think people are right. This is gonna be dumbass insane for Riven. I don't know that it's quite as insane for Irelia. Just thinking about, I always think of those two champions as like similar in the way that they just shit on you.
Yeah, man. Oh, this is gonna be weird.
Fuck top lane. Fuck top lane.
All right, let's keep on going.
Holy Sterix gauge.
Yeah, Sterix gauge. So they are dropping the attack damage it gives you, but
50 to 0.
But you're gonna gain 40% of your base AD as AD.
As bonus AD. Okay.
Bonus AD. There you go. They are removing Bloodlust after dealing damage to or taking damage from an enemy champion. Heal for a portion of your maximum health over 6 seconds. They're getting rid of that. Updated Lifeline passive. If you take damage that would reduce you to below 30% of your maximum HP, gain a shield. And it is going from... so it's currently live. It says it absorbs 100% plus 8% for melee, 4.8 for range of your max health per stack of Bloodlust.
Fuck.
But now, since there's no Bloodlust, they are changing it to 75% of your bonus health that decays over 3.75 seconds.
Okay, so you get a shield that decays. Okay.
Of your bonus health.
Yep.
So
that's pretty good though. That is more of a bruiser item as opposed to a fighter item. So like your Dariuses still will use this good because they build good health items. So yeah, that should be interesting. I'm not mad at that. Sterix is, I always thought, kind of an interesting item. The changes I think are still interesting. It's still a very usable item
for sure.
So
no, agreed. Here we go.
Question before we move down to Ma.
Yeah.
What champions have high base ADs that's really good for? Because I would think this is like for an early game champion, like a Lee Sin or something like that.
I think
because obviously you get more from it the higher your base AD is, right?
Let's see.
So it actually is probably good on Darius because I think he's got a high base AD.
Here we go. Let's see. Renekton. Renekton has so all when was this? Okay, this was of September of last year. Let me open this really quick. I saw Renekton is something that comes to mind. That's really good. Is this page gonna open? Let's go. Apparently Ornn has a very high base AD. I don't know if you're gonna be building this on Ornn, but whatever. Ornn, Cho'Gath, Lee Sin's on there. Trinity has a base AD of 72. But I don't know if you're gonna want to do that just because of he.
I don't think you want that for Tryndamere. I think there's other items. I think Death
crit.
Stance is better for Tryndamere, honestly.
Death Stance would be pretty lit.
Yeah. Maw of Malmortius. This item fucking sucks. I don't think I've built this item since like season 8 or some shit when it had lethality. It's getting a 5 AD boost, a 5 ability haste boost, and then the shield was 200 plus 20% of your maximum health. It is now 200, and they're giving it a melee versus range difference. So let me get that. It's 225% for melee, or 168.75% for ranged. Bonus AD. So they're basing it off your bonus AD instead of your maximum health. Mm-hmm. Less of a tank item, more of a carry item.
Yeah, you might actually see marksmen that don't build shield bow build this. Actually, no.
Yeah, you totally could. When Lifeline is activated, gain 12% Omnivamp until the end of combat. That's fucking new. That's actually fucking awesome. I don't care what anyone says. You should be building this item then.
Yeah,
like you said, for sure. Shield bow replacement. You go Gale Force in this item now instead.
It's pretty good.
Or Kraken Flare in this item.
Does Maw give? No, Maw doesn't give crit. It's the other one, the QSS item, right? That gives you crit.
Yes, Mercurial.
Okay. Yeah, Mercurial. This is
item.
Really fucking good.
It's because no one uses this fucking item ever, so
no, like, they had to do something to it.
This item, I think, for at least 2 or 3 years, has not been used at all. So
yeah, man. All right,
very interesting.
Moving on down to Blade of the Rune King. Hang in there, guys. We're almost done. Price is going up by 100, but the passive current health damage is getting raised by 2%. So it is going from 10 to 12 for melee, and then now it's going from 6 to 8 for range. This is another item I don't see too many people build. I mean, except for like Aurelia, maybe Jax.
This item is different than how it used to be, and I think it's harder to interpret for people. And I will say it got different when they changed the item icon. That's when they really updated it. But because the old item used to be very clear about giving you lifesteal for all your on hit damage, which some items do not. I don't know if current Bloodthirster gives you lifesteal or vamp based on your on hit damage. I don't know how that affects it, but I know that in the past, Blade of the Ruined King was like the on hit champion's lifesteal item, if that makes sense.
No, for sure.
And it's not clear how that plays out now in the item's description, if that makes sense. So I think part of the way the item is written and described, I think, is harder to understand than it used to be. And I think that's why people are like, I don't even know how this item works. Fuck this thing. I'm just move on to something else. But that passive that slows the enemy, I think, is actually pretty good.
I low key miss the active.
The old one,
slow.
yeah,
I miss that.
oh yeah. Vayne Blade of the Ruined King rush, that was like the thing.
Yeah, back in the day, you either rushed Infinity Edge or Blade of the Ruined King. It felt like on champions.
Yep, yeah, it just
Either
depended
or.
if you were playing on hit or crit.
Yep.
We'll move down to the Black Cleaver. This is another interesting item that I haven't seen anybody build recently, and it's funny because it's recommended on a shit ton of champions, and no one builds it because it kind of fucking sucks. It's losing 100 health, so from 450 to 350. But they are giving it an extra 5 AD and an extra 5 ability haste. So you're going from 40 to 45 AD and 25 to 30 ability haste, which is actually a shit ton of ability haste. I don't think there's a whole lot of items that have more than 20.
I think Hydra, Ravenous Hydra, I think has 30. I know, what's the AP item that gives you movement speed?
Cosmic Drive?
That gives you 30, I believe. And then I know Navori Quick Blades gives you 30.
That's another item no one builds is Navori Quickblade.
No, but this is cool. I mean, again, they're changing it from
the Hydra gives you 20.
They must have nerfed. I think it used to be 30.
And maybe it was, and they might have nerfed it because it was right at. And that was last year, I think. When did the Dustblade Ezreal build come out? It was really popular for that build because he needed something with lifesteal on it. That's probably why they nerfed it. Either way, not a whole lot of items give you 30 ability haste is my point, and I don't know that there might not have been one now with an AD champion. So that's pretty good.
No, this is big for like bruisers, dude. Like
very big.
Sure, we're losing 100 HP, but I still feel like as far as like armor pen and all that goes, like Lord Doms is just too good just for crits. Like I feel like Black Cleaver is just, I don't know how much is it, like 3,000, 3,100 gold.
That's a great question for the old Google machine.
I think it just might be too expensive to be built, especially on top laners.
Total cost is 3,100.
Okay, yeah. So
it's kind of expensive. If it was 2,900, maybe you'd see it more prevalent. But oh well. The next one's really quick. It's Ravenous Hydra. It's getting 5 AD from 65 to 70.
Boom, big change.
There.
Hearthbound Axe is getting gold drop of 100 gold, and then cost is dropped by 100, and then the combined cost to, of course, is dropping by 100 gold as well. So that's pretty good.
Fucking weird. Because I guess that means they're not changing Wit's End, and Wit's End builds out a Hearthbound Axe. So maybe Wit's End's combined cost goes up by 100, I guess, because there's no Wit's End change noted here.
Same
right?
thing, I guess, with Trinity Force, because Trinity Force builds out of it.
Too. Yeah, interesting. They didn't mention that, so interesting. And then last is Hex Drinker, which is getting 5 AD boost, which I think just matches up with Maw. So nothing crazy there. And we'll go down into the only mythic that's being changed here, which still fucking needs to be changed, which is sad because they just hit this thing and they have to hit it again. Turbo Chem Tank. The Let me read their little blurb about it because I think this brings some context. It says, our changes to Turbo Chem Tank in patch 12.2 were a band-aid to bring the item back in line on dashy champs like Akali and Aurelia, while we look for better solutions. We're further adjusting its stacking mechanics to make Turbo Chem Tank better suited for tanking rather than for turbocharging at enemies. Emphasis on the tank, not the turbo. These changes also apply to Ornn Masterwork item, Turbocharged Hex Experiment. So the updated passive, which is called Refuel Stacks, you gain 5 stacks per instance. And so it was 5 stacks per instance of damage dealt against champions and large monsters, and 1 stack for every 15 units traveled. It's now 5 stacks per instance of damage taken from champions and large monsters. So instead of dealt, it's damage taken, and 1 stack for every 25 units traveled. Still capped at 10 stacks for dashes and blinks. So that was made to nerf the Aurelia and Akali, saying, hey, you can dash more than 15 units. It's not fair that you can stack just based on a dash instead of actually moving like everybody else. I think last episode we were kind of confused on that.
Yeah, it was.
So again, this makes it more sense.
No, yeah, I'm scared because it looks like they're primarily wanting it to be a jungle item. As far as like at least the refuel, the bonus damage where it gets increased to monsters, and I'm like, no, I feel like there could be some supports that could build this. I don't know. It's
yeah. You know what? Honestly, this item and Predator, I mean, they pair really well together. But it should be for you to chase down and tank a little bit. Obviously, if you're going to be able to chase somebody down, it shouldn't allow you to tank too much, but also shouldn't allow you to do too much damage either. So it's still a very good Udyr item, and obviously a really good Rammus item. Anyone who wants to use the movement speed and be a little bit tanky, but it should not be a damage item. And I think they did a very good job.
No, yeah. Aside from all that Akali nonsense, last weekend, Bwipo was playing Rengar top with lethal tempo and building Chem Tank. So,
oh Jesus,
that does not sound right. That does it for the items. We got some bug fixes of quality of life. The big one I see here is this first one, the Hex Tech gates.
Yeah,
champions will now both visually and mechanically move along the Hex Tech gate travel paths rather than immediately teleporting to their destination of the gate. This also means that active champion effects, such as Cannon Slicing Maelstrom, so you can use ultis like that and shit while in the Hex portal.
So it's more like Bard, huh?
Yeah,
like a magical journey.
Drive-by fucking...
The question is, can you be hurt? Because I know in Bard's magical journey, someone can hit you with a skill shot or an auto attack and still kill you.
I think you're invulnerable.
Okay. I'd be curious to double check that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because the way I'm reading this now is like, oh yeah, it's a magical journey across the map, and everyone can see your fucking weird ass traveling through it. I just think that's gonna look fucking strange, but hey,
it's gonna be funny.
It is definitely gonna be fucking funny.
Any other things you can poke your head through here and see?
Base Darius and Base Amumu's voiceovers have been remastered for clarity. I guess that's cool. Oh, the in-game FPS indicator update rate has been reverted for smoother reporting. Oh, everyone was saying it was moving hella fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking weird.
VFX updates. Vel'Koz. This update should make Vel'Koz VFX more voidy and his hitbox indicators more accurate. I will say I have seen sometimes I'm like, I don't know how that fucking Q hit me. Looks like Battlecast getting complete overhaul and adjusted hitbox indicator. Or sorry, that was base. Sorry. Battlecast getting some cleanup. Arclight getting cleanup and a new E indicator. Infernal minor tweaks and a new E, and Black Frost is the same as Infernal.
I think that does it.
Yeah.
I was thinking of a poll and something a little easy. And what do you guys think Senna should primarily be played as? Marksman, like ADC position, or support? How does that sound? What do you think?
I like that.
So let us know if you guys think she should be primarily an AD or a support.
Yeah, should she be able to carry, or should she be helping?
Well, she could still potentially carry for fucking support.
No, for sure.
You have any ideas for a question?
Man, a question. This is tough, but I would actually like to know what people think about these fighter item changes.
That's a good one.
I think they're good. Because I feel like the a big problem in the game that I've noticed a lot is there's a lot of just dumbass strong bruisers for no reason. You know what I mean? And like they have so much fucking health that like even if they're building damage, they're also getting free health stats. And so when you see here they're taking away some of those health stats, or like if you want the health, you're losing the damage. You know what I mean? So I'd be curious to know what everyone else thinks. Like, do you prefer the items the way they were, or do you think this change is going to be better for the game? Not for you, for the game.
Yeah, maybe even we'll have the question up for like a week, so maybe you
Yeah.
get a few days of gameplay in because the patch should drop tomorrow on the 2nd. Play some games. I'm gonna try out Death's Dance on a lot of fucking champions. See how that goes.
Yeah, dude, I build that item very frequently in like ARAMs. I mean, obviously, I don't play champions in Summoner's Rift that build that item, but in ARAMs when I play those kinds of fighter or bruiser champions, I build the fuck out of Death's Dance.
Bro. All right, guys. I think that's gonna do it. This was a much longer episode than I anticipated, so
That's okay.
that's okay, I guess. What I also really want to ask you guys is if you are listening and if you guys are enjoying it, even if you're not enjoying it, please rate the podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. It'll give us another like way to know if you guys are liking our content or not. Just give us an honest review. 5 stars, of course, would be the best because we like doing this. And write in any reviews you can do on Apple Podcasts. I'm waiting for the day for Spotify to be able to like write in, let people write reviews. I'm sure that'll come eventually.
Hopefully.
But other than that, yeah, guys, we put out an episode every week. Follow us on Spotify. Follow us on wherever the hell you listen to your podcasts. We're on Twitter at ATLE Pod. YouTube, search with parentheses or quotation marks, according to Low Elo. And also on Instagram, just search up according to Low Elo. Is it podcast on Instagram?
It is according to Low Elo on Instagram.
We'll pop up.
I should probably change it to ATLE Pod, but
it might make it a little easier. Yeah.
If you search hashtag ATLE Pod on, we'll come up. We're the only one under that hashtag, and I include it in every post. So
hell yeah. And like I said, we're setting up a stream potentially for next Friday, the 11th of February.
Roughly around 6:30 PST. We'll nail down a time. We'll have an update on our episode next week that we'll try to get out early in the week. Hopefully we have more Renata information before the middle of the week and we can get an episode out to you at the beginning of the week so you guys can plan ahead.
Yep. All right, guys. We will talk to you then, and good luck in your games.
Good luck, guys.